Put it this way. Every Buddhist who belongs to the Theravada school in the South expresses the fact that he is a Buddhist by reciting a certain formula. And it's called Tisarana and Panchasila. I'm talking Pali now, not Sanskrit. Tisarana means the 3 refuges, Panchasila, the 5 precepts. And they put your hands together like this and say, Buddhang saranang gacchami, Danghang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami. That means, I take refuge in Buddha, I take refuge in the method, the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha, which means the fraternity of the followers of Buddha. And then he goes on and he takes the 5 precepts. Panatipata veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. And this precepts one after another. I promise to abstain from taking life. Adina dana veramani. I promise to abstain from taking what is not given. Kamesu mityahara. I promise to abstain from exploiting my passions. Musavada veramani, I promise to abstain from false speech. Sura merya madhyapamadhatana, I promise to abstain from getting intoxicated by a list of various boozes. Now, this every Buddhist in the Southern school says. Mahayanists have a different formula. Well, this is the method, and the method, the Dharma, is therefore a moral law, just like the 10 Commandments. But it isn't. It's quite different. You see, you don't take the 5 precepts in obedience to a royal edict. You take them upon yourself, and there is a very special reason for doing so. How can you fulfill the precept not to take life? Every day you eat, even if you're a vegetarian, you must take life. And so on. Now, therefore, understand this, and this is absolutely fundamental to an understanding of Buddhism. Buddhism is a method, it is not a doctrine. Buddhism is a dialogue, and what it states at the beginning is not necessarily what it will state at the end. The method of Buddhism is, first of all, a relationship between a teacher and a student. The student creates the teacher by raising a problem and going to someone about it. See? Now, if he chooses wisely, you see, he'll find this, if there's a Buddha around, to use as the teacher. And then he says to the Buddha, my problem is that I suffer. And I want to escape from suffering. So the Buddha replies, suffering is caused by desire, by trishna, by craving. If you can stop desiring, then you will solve your problem. Go away and try to stop desiring. And he gives him some methods how to practice meditation and to make his mind calm and still to see if he can stop desiring. The student goes away and practices this. Then he comes back to the teacher and says, but I can't stop desiring not to desire. What am I to do about that? So the teacher says, try then to stop desiring not to desire. Now, you can see where this is going to land up. Or he might put it in this way. all right, if you can't completely stop desiring, do a middle way. That is to say, stop desiring as much as you can stop desiring. And don't desire to stop any more desire than you can stop. See where that's going to go? Because he keeps coming back. Because what the teacher has done in saying stop desiring, he has given his student what in Zen Buddhism is called a koan. This is a Japanese word that means a meditation problem, or more strictly, it means the same thing as case means in law. Because koans are usually based on anecdotes and incidents of the old masters, cases, precedents. But koan, the function of a koan, is a challenge for meditation. Well, who is it that desires not to desire? Who is it that wants to escape from suffering? And here we get to a methodological difference between Hinduism and Buddhism on the question of who are you? The Hindu says, you yourself, he calls Atman, A-T-M-A-N, the self. And he says now, strive to know the self. Realize I am not my body because I can be aware of my body. I am not my thoughts because I can be aware of my thoughts. I am not my feelings for the same reason. I am not my mind, etc., because I can be aware of it. Therefore, I really am other than, above, transcending all these finite aspects of me. Now, the Buddhist has a critique of that. He says, why do you try to escape from yourself as a body? The reason is your body falls apart and you want to escape from it. Why do you want to disidentify yourself from your emotions? The reason is that your emotions are uncomfortable and you want to escape from them. You don't want to have to be afraid. You don't want to have to be in grief or anger. And love even is too much, you see. It involves you in suffering, because if you love someone, you have a hostage to fortune. So the Buddhist says the reason why you believe you are the Atman, the eternal self, which in turn is the Brahman, the self of the whole universe, is that you don't want to lose your damn ego. And if you can fix your ego and put it in the safe deposit box of the Lord, you think you've still got yourself. You haven't really let go. So the Buddha said there isn't any Atman. He taught the doctrine of an-Atman, non-self. Your ego is unreal, and as a matter of fact, there's nothing you can cling to. No refuge, really. Just let go, man. There's no salvation, no safety, nothing anywhere. You see how clever that was. You see, because what he was really saying is, any Atman that you could cling to or think about or believe in wouldn't be the real one. This is the accurate sense of the original documents of the Buddha's teaching. If you carefully go through it, that's what he's saying. He's not saying that there isn't the Atman or the Brahman. He says anyone you could conceive wouldn't be it. Anyone you believed in would be the wrong one. Because believing is clinging still. It isn't, there's no salvation through believing. There's only salvation through knowledge. And even then, the highest knowledge is non-knowledge. And here he agrees with the Hindus who say in the Upanishads, in the Kena Upanishad, if you think that you know Brahman, you do not know him. But if you know that you do not know the Brahman, truly know.
Why? Well, that's very simple. If you really are it, you don't need to believe in it. And you don't need to know it, just as your eyes don't need to look at themselves. You see? So that's the difference of method in Buddhism. Now understand method here. The method is a dialogue. And the so-called teachings of Buddhism are the first opening gambits in the dialogue.